Hey, it's Amani, and I know this is an uncomfortable topic for a lot of people, but we need to talk about women's finances. Now, this video was inspired by the latest unemployment reports out of the US. We all know that over 350,000 Black women have lost their jobs since the start of the year, and now the nationwide jobless rate has risen to 4.3%, the highest since 2021. And if you think this is just America, think again. Canada isn't faring much better. In August alone, Canadians lost 66,000 jobs, pushing unemployment rates up to 7.1% from 6.6% earlier this year. And these cuts hit hardest in sectors slammed by US tariffs, so nice job, Dump administration. As devastating as this is for everyone, I need to focus on women because women are already more financially vulnerable thanks to the systems in place, and these stats are not helping. Here's something that floored me that I learned recently. Women are 80% more likely than males to retire in poverty after age 65, and those rates have barely improved over time. Single and divorced women are the most vulnerable groups. Many end up working for the rest of their lives because they literally can't afford to retire. Why is this happening? A lot of these factors are outside of our control. So there's gender pay gaps, career interruptions. Women are most often the parent who takes time off work for child rearing. Longer lifespans. Women live longer, so we need to make more money. Single parenthood. Women are often the full-time parent after a breakup or divorce. Divorce itself makes women more prone to poverty. Women receive fewer raises and promotions than their male counterparts, even in the same field of work. Black employees are 26% less likely to be promoted within 2.5 years of being hired, and 32% more likely to be let go within that time frame than their white counterparts. These facts don't just lower our income, they eat away at savings we'd use for retirement. And it's not only gender pay gaps that affect us, it's racial pay gaps as well. Like I state in my book, 30 Reasons Why Men Deserve Nothing, Black women earn 65 cents for every dollar paid to white non-Hispanic men. Over a 40-year career, that's nearly $1 million stolen from Black women. To catch up, Black women have to work 21 to 22 extra years, meaning that if a typical white male retires at 65, a Black woman would still be grinding full-time until she's 86, just to earn the same amount. And here's the kicker. The average life expectancy for American women is only 81 years. I crunched more numbers and discovered that a white woman would have to work into her 70s, and a Hispanic woman would need to work until she was 95, just to break even with the average 65-year-old retired white guy. So translation, this isn't a glitch in the system, this is the system. It's rigged so that most women either work until we die or accept lives of poverty in our elder years. And again, with more Black women being pushed out of the workplace intentionally right now, this seems to be the plan for us at least. There's even a term for what's going on and what's been going on with women around the world, and it's called the feminization of poverty. On top of that, there's financial literacy. Women were only allowed to open their own bank accounts in the 70s. Most women have been locked out of wealth building for generations. Even still, women are intelligent, resilient, and ambitious. We want more for ourselves, and we're trying to figure it out and help each other to do the same. And that's why I wanted to share this video. I want all of us to be able to achieve our best lives. We're already on the decentering men journey, which is awesome. We already know that a man is not a financial plan, because even a generous, wealthy provider can still switch up on you and leave. So whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, even in your 50s or 60s, you should be thinking about securing your future today. Don't shy away from the topic of money either. I know they like to tell women all the time that it's impolite or it's tacky to discuss money or it makes people uncomfy, don't talk about it, as they watch us silently fall into poverty as we get older. So who does that really benefit? No more. We're not staying silent anymore. That's how these generational curses continue, because everyone's too afraid to talk about it. How can we possibly come up with solutions to things we're too afraid to discuss? Thanks to the internet, we have so many ways to build income streams that don't require huge overhead, tons of physical products, or years in school. This is how we're going to give ourselves options. This is how you're going to make extra income so that you can start to invest, because investing is one of the only ways that we can really get out of this poverty pipeline. This is how you're going to make sure that you're not looking for a part-time job at 68 with no savings. I love that more women are being conscious about who they choose as partners, if they choose to date males at all. And I love that more women are saying no thanks, get somebody else to do it, to motherhood, if it's not something you wanted anyway, since it costs women in many more ways than one. But I also want us to say yes, absolutely, when it comes to wealth building, because so much of life's problems are caused by financial instability. We should all be rich aunties in the future, living comfortably, traveling, and able to actually retire in our lifetimes. It's studies like the one that I just mentioned that make me grateful that Shanice and I actually did go out of our way, take our time to create our self-publishing program. We've been in this business for years, and over time we've learned how to build simple, life-changing income streams through books and now through social media. And it doesn't take years of school. There's no degree or license that you need. There's no inventory that you need to purchase. Yet you can actually start right away and change your life. The waitlist is open now, so if you do want early bird access, like I said, if you want those discounts, if you want bonuses, click the link in the description, make sure that you sign up, and also make sure to drop your thoughts in the comments because I'd love to hear your thoughts on the retirement study. Women are 80% more likely to retire in poverty. Did these stats surprise you? Have you heard it before? Are you on your wealth building journey? What are you doing to secure your financial future? Please drop your thoughts in the comments. Please tell us your plans. I'd love to hear them. We're here to help each other out. We're all growing and learning. And yeah, this is a space of abundance. So we're sharing our ideas, we're sharing our thoughts. To close things out, I'm actually going to share a few creators who are also talking about this subject. So stay tuned for them. They're coming shortly. Again, thank you so much for 33K. We made it, y'all. And we're just going to keep growing. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.